One of the breakout stars of the NBA season has been Alperen Sengun. Through 14 games, he's averaging 20.2 points per game, 9.1 rebounds per game, and 5.6 assists per game on 56.7, 32.3, 63.6 splits, and a 60.4 true shooting percentage. Among players who average at least 20 points per game, he ranks third behind just Giannis and LeBron in field goal percentage. Sengun has been the best player on a Rockets team that shocked the NBA to start this season. But what makes him so interesting to me is the way he plays the game. Specifically, how bizarre his game is, which is what I want to talk about in this video. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways that can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and I'll be reaching my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about Alperen Sengun. I think it's very clear that Sengun is the best player on the Rockets. He leads the team in the following categories: points per game, rebounds per game, field goal percentage, offensive win shares, offensive box score plus minus, value over replacement player. While these numbers don't always paint a full picture, when you combine the fact that he leads this team in all of these categories with what you see on tape, it does line up to paint a picture of a player that is the best on his team. Sengun really doesn't fit the mold of a modern day big, especially compared to other young bigs in the NBA. He doesn't have the guard-like fluidity and quickness like Evan Mobley. He doesn't have the explosive physicality like Jalen Duren. He doesn't have the freakish physical intangibles like Victor Wembanyama. He doesn't have the perimeter scoring polish like Chet Holmgren. But despite that, you could make the argument that he's better than all four of them as of right now. Sengun's scoring starts with his dominance inside the paint. He's shooting 67.3% at the rim on 7.2 attempts per game. But what makes him so intriguing is how unconventional his scoring in the paint is. He has the brute strength that most high-level centers in the NBA have around the basket. He has really good touch around the basket as well, but he's not the most explosive athlete. I think he has really good movement skills, but not those guard-like movement skills that you see a lot of modern bigs use to win around the basket. How he wins is with craft and creativity combined with his brute strength, which is something that's reminiscent of old school centers rather than modern centers. While the game is trending towards more perimeter-oriented off-bounce creation across all positions, and that includes the big man spot, Sengun goes against that trend and is one of the most effective paint scorers in the NBA. Sengun doesn't beat players with physical or athletic advantages. He doesn't speed things up to create advantages. He beats players with patience, craft, and creativity, controlling the pace of the game, which is something that takes an incredibly high level of feel for the game to do. Another area where Sengun differs from most modern bigs is his shot diet between around the basket and jumpers. Sengun isn't a big-time three-point shooter. He will take a few here and there. It's not like he's afraid of taking them. But where he thrives as a shooter is the mid-range area. According to Cleaning the Glass, Sengun is in the 83rd percentile in terms of long mid-range jumper attempts and shoots 55% on those type of shots, which is really good. While having a good three-point shot would expand his offense overall, having a reliable mid-range shot expands what he can do inside the arc, where he brings his most value on offense. It gives defenses more things to worry about. He's nearly unstoppable at the basket, but the few that can stop him at the basket also have to worry about his mid-range game. It would be nice for him to develop a three-point shot that's at the point where he's taking 4 to 5 a game and is at least around league average, I think that would raise his ceiling even higher than what it already is. But considering he's the offensive engine, I don't think it's a big deal. Especially considering the Rockets surround him with perimeter players that play off of him, rather than him playing off of those perimeter players. But where Alperen Sengun brings his most value as a player, the area on offense that I believe is truly the foundation for what makes him a special player, is his playmaking. Sengun is one of the best passing bigs in the NBA, and he probably would be the best passing big in the NBA if Nikola Jokic just didn't exist. The thing is, Jokic does exist, so Sengun isn't the best passing big in the NBA. Regardless, that doesn't take away from the fact that Sengun is truly special in this area. It's something that made him a coveted prospect. His feel for the game is off the charts. He's capable of creating advantages and setting up passes in conventional X's and O's plays. He has the scoring gravity to expand his game as a playmaker. He's a really good manipulator. He understands how to use his gravity to his advantage. His vision is incredible. He's creative. And it just makes him very hard to guard because one way or another, he's going to create an advantage. You guys know my philosophy that I preach. The better scorer you are, the more it can expand your game as a playmaker. And with Sengun being high level in both regards, you don't only get a player that's capable of being your offensive engine, you also get one of the best offensive players in the NBA. Alperen Sengun goes against all the modern trends of the NBA. He doesn't have freakish physical and athletic intangibles. He doesn't have guard wing-like fluidity. He's not the most explosive athlete around the basket. He's not a perimeter scoring star. He's the opposite of every other young big I believe has star upside. He wins with strength, craft, and feel, much like bigs from past eras, which makes him so interesting to watch on tape. I'm not saying he's the next Nikola Jokic. That's a lot to ask of a young player, but they do have some similar traits. I'll admit I was wrong about Sengun. I had a first round grade on him as a prospect. I actually thought pick 16 was proper value, but I scoffed at the idea of him being a top 10 guy. I had concerns about how his game would translate to the NBA in a way that would justify using a top 10 pick on him, but clearly I couldn't have been more wrong. Sengun is proving to be good enough to be an offensive engine at the NBA level, not just in a small role, in a high capacity role as the focal point of a team. He's the best player on a Rockets team that's at least competitive night in and night out, and looks like they're trending towards at least being a play-in team. He's proving to be the best player the Rockets have drafted in the post-James Harden era, even over the guys they took second and third overall. And mind you, I like those two guys they took second and third overall. I'm higher on Jalen Green and Jabari Smith than most. But Sengun is proving to be the guy they're building around, and I think it's going to work. He's a star in this league and should make the All-Star team if he keeps this up, whether you like it or not. A high-level scorer inside the arc, and a gifted playmaker. That's something that you can build around, even if he's not taking a bunch of three-pointers or isn't the most explosive athlete in the world. His game isn't the most conventional on tape compared to other young bigs. But that doesn't change the fact that he's an incredible player who I think will make All-Stars and maybe even All-NBA teams for a very long time. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, I'm notified whenever I release a video. I'm making videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways to help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Alperen Sengun. How good do you think he is? How good do you think he can be? Where does he stack up among the other young centers in the NBA? Love to hear all that down below in the comment section. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.